Hey everybody, it's episode 120 of Is This Thing Working? How you doing, Denise?
I'm doing great. No, I didn't use the word awesome.
You didn't, and I like that. I do.
I am doing great today. It's Tuesday, episode 120. We're really excited to be here with you today. It's the Trump trial went off the trails yesterday. You heard about that, right?
Yeah, it went crazy.
And it's great economy, stupid. That's what the mainstream media is telling you.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll get into all of that
economy
today.
Yep.
But first,
experience the ultimate shipping solution with Easy Ship. Are you tired of navigating complex logistics and wasting valuable time? Say goodbye to the stress of shipping and hello to simplicity with Easy Ship. Our intuitive platform allows you to compare rates from leading carriers, schedule pickups with ease, and track your shipments in real time, all in one place. Whether you're a small business owner looking to optimize your shipping process or an individual sending a gift to a loved one, Easy Ship has you covered. Our user-friendly interface puts the power of efficient shipping at your fingertips, saving you time and money. Don't let shipping challenges hold you back. Try Easy Ship today and discover a new level of convenience and reliability. Visit EasyShip.com now to get started.
click the link below.
Well, hey, before we start the show today, we want to state these are our opinions and our assertions. If you agree with us, tell your friends, share our show. If you don't agree with us, tell your friends and share our show, man.
That's right.
Yeah, and stomp that like button. Please follow us or subscribe wherever you see the name, Is This Thing Working? Also, you can get to every show and every podcast by going to our website, www.is-this-thing-working.com. So check us out. Thank you for helping Denise and I grow the show. Again, shout out to our GETTR audience. You guys are awesome, man. You're consistent every day. We love you guys. We love all of you, but man, our GETTR crowd is so consistent, man.
And we're growing on GETTR, really a little bit every day. But hey, every one of you are so special to us. So thank you so much. And download that Rumble app while you're at it, so you can follow the show and you'll receive instant notifications when we go live on Rumble and GETTR.
Yep, every Monday through Friday. Yep, every Monday.
2 p.m.
At 2 p.m. That's exactly right. So let's get on with the show.
Let's do it. The first thing we're going to do today is Trump Watch. You know, it's been a roller coaster watching this trial go on. What I call it is Trump is back in blackmail court today with a few more kiss-ups at President Trump's back. We're going to get into that list right now.
Yeah. And as we've all seen on the news each and every day since, last Wednesday or Thursday, he's had a crowd of congressional support out there for him, man.
All of a sudden.
Well, and the great thing is the ones that we did see at the start, Representative Gates, Andy Biggs, Byron Donalds, those guys, we know that
even
those
Tim
guys.
Scott.
Tim Scott, we know that those guys are America first. They're MAGA.
Right. And, for example, another one that we haven't mentioned yet, and that's our Attorney General here in Texas, Ken Paxton. He was the first one that showed up, and he's the one that said, there better be people here. You need to come on. You know, and that's exactly why President Trump is thinking about him for his Attorney General.
Right.
Which I thought was great news yesterday. It was all over social media.
Yep.
You know, so, but here we go with the list.
Don't name the first one. Go from there.
Don't name the first one.
Don't name the first one yet.
Yes.
Don't name the first one yet. Here we go. Former acting AG Matt Whitaker's there. Former Florida AG Pam Bondi is there. Senator Eric Schmidt, Representative Daniel Webster, Representative Dan Muser, Representative Ronnie Jackson, Troy Nehls, Dale Strong, Maria Salazar, and then you got Sebastian Gorka. You've also got the former president of the Hells Angels motorcycle gang, Chuck Zito, is there. Comedian Joe Piscopo and Bill White. And out of all these people that are standing here, the one we didn't mention at the first is the only America First supporter, the only true Donald Trump supporter out of that crowd that I see, which is his own son, Donald Trump Jr.
That's exactly right. Donald Trump Jr. is on the first of the list today because he is America First. And he's the only one. I might say Sebastian Gorka, but you know what? He kind of disappoints me somewhat. And I wonder, he's more of a warmonger. He does, talks about the war quite a bit. But, he's old school, so we forgive him sometimes.
and as far as the list, I read this list out, and even going through here, really out of the House of Representatives, the only people that I recognize their names are Ronnie Jackson and Troy Nehls. And, even Ronnie Jackson, we heard him yesterday on, what was that, on Wilcow.
Yes.
On the Wilcow majority. And we heard him kind of talk. And he didn't really come out there and really say anything other than talking points. And so,
the same talking points over and over again. The same, we don't have the majority. But you do.
Yeah.
We only have one vote more, but you have the majority. And he's from Texas, and we never hear his name. And all of a sudden, in 2 days, we've heard his name. All of a sudden. So why?
Twice. Yeah.
This stuff drives me crazy. We seen a picture this morning of all of them standing behind President Trump. And President Trump has on a yellow tie, which is so not him. He usually wears a red or a blue tie. Sometimes he'll wear a blue tie. But every one of them behind him, guess what they have on?
Red ties.
A red tie.
Yep.
Yeah. They're pretending. They're pretenders.
Well, he come out and showed them too, man, that, hey, yes. I'm on to you.
Yes.
I'm on to you guys. I know what you're up to.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Grifters. Grifters. But we're going to get on to the crazy trial that went on yesterday. A fuming Judge Merchan runs interference for Bragg and shouts at Trump defense witness Robert Costello, "Get out of the courtroom now." I'm getting this from the Gateway Pundit. We need to give them a shout out. Christina Lalia.
Yeah, she writes in the article, President Trump was back in a Manhattan court on Monday in Alvin Bragg's Soviet-style hush money lawfare trial. The prosecutors earlier Monday rolled out their star witness, Michael Cohen, a convicted perjurer, to take the stand. Cohen then shocked the public when he admitted that he stole tens of thousands of dollars from President Trump, and he lied to Trump Organization CFO Alan Weisselberg. And you would think that this would be enough. You know what I mean? To
yes.
convince this jury. But the defense, they were like, hey, we got even more. And I'm glad that they brought him out, man, because of the congressional testimony that from last week that he sat there and debunked everything that Cohen had said. And he proved Cohen to be a liar. And it said that after the prosecutors rested their case, Trump's defense team called attorney Robert Costello to the witness stand.
Could you have seen the look on everyone's faces?
Oh, yeah. And as I said, like she says here in the article, recall that Costello previously blasted Cohen as a convicted perjurer and said that Bragg's prosecutors were cherry-picking emails. Yeah, so here's the exchange between Judge Merchan and Robert Costello, courtesy of Paul Ingracia, who is inside the New York City courtroom live reporting. And it says, Merchan grows irate, begins excoriating Robert Costello at the stand for making a few offhanded remarks and rolling his eyes during the testimony. Merchan says, "Are you staring me down right now?" Costello said, "I'm not." Merchan then busted out, "Get out of the courtroom now. Get out of the courtroom." And it said then the video cuts out. So, yeah, it got pretty crazy in there. And what the deal was that every time that Todd Blanche and them began bringing things in the case, every time they would, Alvin Bragg would scream objection, and then Judge Merchan, before even allowing him to or even listen to his objection, was already sustaining the objections. Robert Costello's seen this. He knows what was up with it, and he rolled his eyes at one point. Every time that would happen, you could tell he was just blown away by this, and he rolled his eyes. He even at one point said, "Geez," and that's what would begin to just piss Merchan off, man.
The whole thing to me was an absolute show trial. It is. It says, Paul Ingracia said that the trial resumed after a delay following a fiery exchange between Judge Merchan and Bob Costello. Merchan is absolutely seething over Costello's damning testimony. The type of treatment Costello, an experienced prosecutor who once worked for the U.S. Attorney's Office for New York in the 1970s and early 1980s, is receiving on the witness stands from the judge is disgusting, Paul said. Merchan is visibly perturbed, condescending, and downright abusive of the witness on the stand. Outrageous behavior from a judge, and totally inappropriate for any courtroom. No decorum whatsoever, which is why we call it a show trial.
Yeah. What my question is with this, and I think it's the question that everybody has, what impact is that right there going to have on the jury?
Yes.
I mean, think about that. What kind of impact? This trial should be dismissed, declared a mistrial immediately. I mean, really, the bias that Mershon pulls out here and shows in front of everybody, and I'm glad that they did bring Costello, because we already know Cohen's a liar. He's already had this testimony out to Congress about the lies. So we already understand that. So for Mershon to come out and do this, what kind of impact now does that have on the jury? You know what, and I said this yesterday, is that it was good that this was brought out because it exposed that about Mershon. And hopefully, if these jurors are not bought and paid for, are not any of this, hopefully what Mershon did yesterday doesn't intimidate or influence them to make the wrong decision.
Unless
you know what I mean?
Unless they're just as mad that the defense brought in proof, because there is a lot of people worried that there's the jurors have a lot of Trump derangement syndrome, and they have been feeding off of, what's been going on in the media. They have.
Why, sure.
But folks, let me tell you why this is so important. Why we keep bringing this up and why we're telling you what's going on is this is the trial that the Democrats were banking on. They were banking on this trial right here. This is what was going to kill Donald Trump's presidential bid. This was going to be it. He's going to be a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to put him in jail. He's going to be a criminal. They're going to be able to use this over and over. He's a criminal. He's a criminal. He's been found guilty. He's been found guilty. They need that talking point.
Sure they do. Sure they do. And that's where I go back to saying, man, what a sad or what a scary situation this is because we know that the judge is corrupt. We know he's corrupt. He's a commie. We know that. We know Alvin Bragg is bought and paid for. You know what I mean? We already know that too. And I don't believe in a million years that this jury could bring a conviction. You know what I mean? I just don't believe that. But then again, too, damn, look at what everything. Well, look at everything that's went on. Look at everything over the years that has went on these past 2 or 3 years, and you see stuff and you go, nah, it ain't gonna happen, and damn if it don't. So I'm there again. That's what I'm kind of curious about this. What kind of impact it had.
Well, and like we were talking about with the jury and how they're viewing things and stuff like that, we have a video of what the Democrats' talking points are about this trial and what happened yesterday and everything about Cohen and him stealing money from the Trump organization. Listen.
Inside the courtroom, you've been there almost every day. You have the strength of beyond mortal men. But what was worth it to you today? What did you see? What did you hear?
Well, the courtroom is where I began as a writer and a reporter a long time ago. So this is a homecoming for me in terms of a workplace. The shocking thing at the end of that cross-examination, and I just can't tell you how stunning it was, because it's the thing that I was waiting for. I saw everything Todd Blanche. I've seen every minute of cross-examination. I've seen every single question he's asked. And he sat down and ended his cross-examination without asking a single question about the $130,000 that appears on the Alan Weisselberg notes about how they were structuring the payment to Michael Cohen. He asked about the $50,000 that's irrelevant to the $130,000, and that's where he very effectively got Michael Cohen to agree that yes, he stole $30,000. Later, when Cohen was asked about that on redirect by the prosecution, it didn't really sound like stealing $30,000. It sounded a lot like Michael Cohen doing the little that he could within that calculation to rebalance the bonus he thought he deserved, and it still came out as less than the bonus he thought he deserved and the bonus he'd gotten the year before.
So do you see how he tried to frame this? Cohen admitted he stole money from President Trump, and MSN and the main MSNBC and the mainstream media come out, and this is how they're going to try to frame it.
Like it's okay to steal.
Well, not that it's okay, but that this was, he wanted to rebalance what he felt was owed to him. Okay, Mr. Lawrence O'Donnell here, I want to rebalance the inequality between me and you. You make a lot of money. You drive a nice car. Let's rebalance this. I'm going to come get your car because it's a rebalancing thing. How stupid is that? But that is what they're going to try to do. It's crazy, man. Insane. Transform your business with Shopify, the leading e-commerce platform designed for entrepreneurs of all levels. Shopify makes it easy to create a stunning online store with customizable templates and a user-friendly interface. Manage your inventory, process payments, and track your sales, all from one seamless dashboard. With built-in search engine optimization and marketing tools, you can reach more customers and grow your business faster. Plus, Shopify's secure and reliable hosting ensures your site is always up and running, backed by 24/7 customer support. Join over 1 million businesses worldwide who trust Shopify to power their online stores. Start your free 14-day trial today at Shopify.com and see how easy it is to sell online, in-store, and everywhere in between. Take the next step toward e-commerce success with Shopify.
Please click the link below. Did you know the government paid Walgreens and CVS not to fill ivermectin prescriptions? The question is why.
Found this out yesterday. America Out Loud has an article online in it, and this is what it says. It says, former CNN Chris Cuomo, who pushed the government's deadly COVID-19 narrative and shamed the unvaccinated, admitted he has taken ivermectin for long COVID, a condition affecting 17 million Americans, which many believe could be caused by COVID-19 vaccines. Defending his use of ivermectin, Cuomo, showing no remorse, stated, ivermectin was a boogeyman during COVID. That was wrong. We were given bad information about ivermectin. The real question is why. Cuomo's admission comes too late for the millions of Americans who could have benefited from ivermectin as part of a treatment protocol for COVID-19. While Cuomo now admits the government got it dead wrong, he seems less willing to admit the part that he played in perpetuating the government's lies in what has become the biggest story of our lifetimes. In cartel-like fashion, the U.S. government bribed private entities to push experimental genetic injections, knowing the shots cause serious injuries and even death, while blocking promising but unprofitable repurposed medications with high safety profiles that could have saved lives.
And Americans were purposely given bad information, not just about ivermectin, about masks, about 6 feet, standing 6 feet apart.
About all of that.
About everything that went along. They mandated vaccines that they didn't even have studies on long enough to give to millions and millions of people who stood in line and trusted their government.
To even guarantee the safety, lied to you all in what? All in what? To follow the money.
Yes.
That's what it shows right here, because ivermectin is a cheap and very effective drug. Very, very, very effective.
They don't mention
hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah, they don't mention hydroxychloroquine very much either. And either one of these were told they were bad. We can't use them, and they're very cheap. And a lot of people could have been saved.
Yes.
By, listening to other doctors, doing what you do with science and talk. You talk about your studies and what you find. And, but it says, according to Dr. Pierre Corey, a pulmonary and critical care specialist who has testified and written extensive about the intentional censure of ivermectin in the U.S., had the potential to save countless U.S. lives and could have ended the entire pandemic. Why didn't they want to end the pandemic, folks?
That's exactly it. Keep reading, and it begins to even explain it more. Yet they bought off hospitals and pharmacies, which were allocated a staggering $178 billion in federal COVID-19 relief money during the pandemic. They would turn on the Nobel Peace Prize winning drug, according to Dr. Corey in his book, The War on Ivermectin. This is what he writes in his book. He said, in the wake of the global horse dewormer propaganda campaign, hospitals started pulling ivermectin from their pharmacies. Health systems began harassing and threatening employees with loss of employment if they prescribed ivermectin. Pharmacies became even more brazen in their refusals to fill ivermectin prescriptions. I want to stop right here and share this because I know that the experience that me and you and our family experienced during COVID is the same as a lot of others, hundreds of thousands of other people.
We all went through the same thing.
Listen, here's my thing with this, and here's my biggest beef with this entire thing right here is the fact that I don't deny COVID. We don't deny COVID, that COVID is bad for people and it makes you sick. We don't deny that it was very deadly to the elderly people. We don't deny any of those things. And my frustration with a lot of it is the fact that when my mother contracted COVID and she went to the doctor to get help and be treated, he sent her home with a bottle of prednisone and told her to take the prednisone and Tylenols for the fever and stay quarantined for 10 days. My point with that is they didn't treat her. You had ivermectin right here that could have helped her. You had other things that could have saved her. And you chose money from our damn government over my mother's life. And you didn't allow me to be there with her when she passed away. And that was 3 years ago. And I still harbor a lot of bitterness over that.
And you're not the only one.
I know.
Everyone, people are angry. I mean, we watched Gutfeld last night, and Dr. Drew spoke exactly the quiet part out loud. Listen.
Work here. I have a lot of friends who are Republican, very conservative. I have a lot of friends who are very liberal in my real life. But people sometimes who like watch a show like this, they'll be like, how is that possible?
You're right.
But it's actually so easy.
But you know what? You said something on this show a few weeks ago that just stayed with me. You said some of us have not gotten over COVID yet.
Yeah, that's true.
And the bitterness, that the excesses that COVID left behind are fueling some of this acrimony. There are many of us that just can't get over what they were able to do.
Way to shoehorn the medical part into this, Doc.
Yeah.
Right?
And you know that personally, but we got to move on.
All right.
See, right there. He said the quiet part out loud, and immediately Gutfeld changed the subject. Oh, people don't want to hear that we're angry, and we're very angry. But listen at this goofball who wants to come back years later after putting the thumb down.
Yeah.
Listen at him.
She's talking about Governor Andrew Cuomo. We seen this on Jesse Kelly's show. He's on First News Network. And this show was from Jesse Kelly's show on May the 9th. He was talking about this, and the title of his show that night was COVID 4 years later.
Arguing against me if I made that argument. And so now Andrew Cuomo is out there interviewing Dr. Witch and saying things like this.
Government had no capacity to enforce any of this. You must wear a mask. And people wore masks in New York. But if they said, I'm not wearing a mask, there was nothing I could do about it. You must close your private business. I won't. Well, there was nothing I could really do about it. It was really all voluntary, and it was extraordinary when you think about it, that society acted with that uniformity voluntarily because I had no enforcement capacity.
What?
Oh my gosh. You see what they're doing, folks? Now they're going to tell you, you could have
said no.
Said no.
We knew that all along.
Yes, we did.
But what and is he telling the truth here? I believe that he is. That's kind of where I stood with that. I believe that he is telling the truth. He should have stood with us. He should have stood with those that said, no, you can't do this to people. You know, and that's kind of leading us right to our next topic, which is the economy. Not only did the actions of our government and the unelected bureaucrats like Dr. Anthony Fauci, Dr. Birx, those people, the WHO, our government, all the politicians that knew what was going on, yet continued to play along. You know, not only did this wreck people's families, it took loved ones from them.
Jobs,
because President Biden mandated the vaccine, and people were forced to walk away from their jobs.
And you couldn't tell them no. Then the military couldn't say no. The people that you sent to their businesses that were trying to make some money and support their families, you sent cops. We seen it on TV,
yes.
fella. You sent cops
exactly
to their business and everything. So, they can come out and they can memory hole all this all day long. But we're never going to forget.
And the other thing that they continue to try to memory hold, and your president, Joe Biden, who is one of the biggest liars, either he's incredibly stupid or he is a liar. One of the two. But he comes out, we know that inflation is 9%, yet he comes out and continues to tout that it's down. There's the other memory hole that we're talking about.
Just like the Atlantic coming out saying the worst, best economy ever. That is their headline. Why Biden is getting no credit for the boom. Now, what is going on here? This is what they do, folks.
Yeah, and scroll down here, and I'm going to read just a little bit. This is how they try to continue to frame this. Here's one point. They say that Joe Biden is, at the moment, losing his reelection campaign, and he's doing it so while presiding over the strongest economy the United States has ever experienced. It says the jobless rate is below 4%, as it has been for nearly 2.5 years. Wage growth is moderating, but it is higher than it was at any point during the Obama administration. Overall, Biden has seen stronger pay increases than any president since Richard Nixon. Inflation has cooled off considerably, meaning that consumer purchasing power is strong. Do you see how they tried to frame this? What did they leave out of that entire explanation or that entire President Trump's economy? You're damn right.
They left out President Trump's economy. Yes, they did. But Biden says inflation is moving in the right direction, but the numbers paint a different direction. The numbers paint a different picture altogether. The consumer price index, for example, is increased by 0.3% in April, the third month in a row of consistently high inflation, bucking trends seen in the second half of 2023, where inflation was looking to descend below 3%. They were hoping like heck this was going to happen, and it didn't. Inflation data for the first few months of 2024 cast doubt on whether the rate of price increases is actually moving closer to the Federal Reserve's target of 2%, meaning inflation could continue to squeeze Americans for longer than expected, experts told the Daily Caller News Foundation.
Yeah, let's look at some examples. You can't deny that inflation is high. You can't make the statement that inflation is down. You just can't. At McDonald's, at the end of 2019, the price of a medium French fry was $1.79. Right now, the price of those is $4.19. That's an increase of 134%.
Folks, did your paycheck go up 134%?
Big Macs were $3.99. They're now $7.49. In 2019, Taco Bell, the same thing. And Taco Bell used to be the cheapest place to eat.
Yes, and it's not.
not the healthiest, but it was definitely one of the cheapest. But even Chick-fil-A has had to come up on their prices. So you see increases on their products, man, at their restaurants. Like at Taco Bell, a beefy 5-layer burrito was $1.69. It's $3.69 now. That's 118% increase, y'all.
Check out this sandwich at Chick-fil-A here. Deluxe chicken sandwich was $3.65 at the end of 2019. Mid-2024, $6.55, which they are the lowest so far that I've seen percentage, but it's 79.5%.
Yeah.
That's how much all of these businesses have gone up. Now, let me tell you, reason why we're pointing out businesses is because, yes, the businesses are the ones making the money. They are out there making money off of you who had to stay home while they stepped and used Uber Eats to get their food. And now they're making more money off of you, and you still go every single day and spend your money there.
Yep.
We also have other inflation Bidenomics.
Yeah.
Ever since he took office in 2021.
Yeah, because it's not just going to McDonald's and Chick-fil-A and Taco Bell. Those were just three of the cheapest examples we could bring to you. But Since Joe Biden took office in 2021, his Bidenomics plan that he has, we have watched frozen vegetables rise 29.4%. We have watched our electricity rates rise to 28.5%. Our public transportation has risen 25%. Butter, cookies, both at 26 and 25% respectively. Even our pet food has went up 23%. People, those are real issue items. Those are what they like to call the kitchen table items.
Kitchen table items.
These are the things
What's
that are
important to
affecting all
you?
of us.
Is this thing working?
Rise up. Well, hey, everybody, that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed the show. Hope you've learned some things about what's going on around us in the nation and in your communities. You know, we couldn't do this without your continued support either. We appreciate all of you showing up, taking the time to listen to us today. So please, like I say, make sure to hit the like button, share our show with all your friends. We'll see you next time on Is This Thing Working? And as always, I'm James, and that's my lovely co-host over there,
Denise.
and we'll see you next time.
We're out.